Mocking me? No, I'm not mocking you. It's Mocking With You, the podcast that settles the debates once and for all with your host, Lil B, and the Hater.
Hello and welcome to the Mocking With You podcast. I sometimes just like listening to the music and keep it rolling for a little bit.
No one including me. I'm just like dancing around.
Yeah. So, thank you for tuning in this week. This is an extra episode we are recording early, as I will be deploying to Kuwait here shortly, and we will be recording while I'm deployed. But we wanted to get a couple extra episodes pre-recorded for you all, so we didn't miss any content for y'all while we're during this time of me deploying and moving out there. So,
by the way, he's not fighting in Afghanistan or something. By the way,
no. I'm a civilian. I'm a civilian. Yeah. I'm going over there as a civilian to do, to make sure the troops get the stuff that they need. And the
that is important, though.
It is. But I'll be back in a little fob, big base, not ever leaving it, safe, not doing anything heroic. Just try to make sure the people who are heroic get the things they need. But besides all that, not trying to talk about me at all this week. We're just doing this to make sure you guys have content to listen to while I'm getting set up over there. But this week we are bringing you our franchises, the Los Angeles Chargers and the Green Bay Packers top 10 wide receivers of all time. This list is going to be fun. We're going to have a lot of blasts. We've already done the quarterbacks and the running backs at this point. So let's go ahead and let's get straight into it. And let's talk about the top 10 wide receivers of our franchise history and who we have on them. This one's going to be fun. So I'm going to go ahead and here and share my screen and get this list pulled up really quick.
Fun, I guess.
Yeah. All right. I can't remember who went last or first the last time. I think I did.
No, you can go ahead. I'm disgusted with my team history here. It had number 1 and 2 for me, but after that, it's all downhill.
We have a lot. It's just some shorter than others. So where do we want to raise mine for who and where and what?
Hey, now they have the wide receiver who was absolutely hungover and had one of the best games ever in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm going to go here. This gentleman was selected in the 3rd round of the 92 draft. Going back a little bit, he was one of Brett Favre's favorite targets for a little bit for his speed, route running, and be able to stretch the defenses. He was in a key role of helping usher in the success of the franchise.
No,
he was unfortunately one that was set back by a lot of injuries throughout his career.
No,
He didn't get Pro Bowl nod in '95, a viable role in our Super Bowl win against the Patriots. And I'm taking Robert Brooks for number 10.
Oh, exactly what I was.
No. That guy's going to be higher. I know who you thought I was going, but no, he'll be higher.
He really had it. He had it on there for a second. I'm like, what?
No. Where I feel about that
the Hall of Fame? Well, arguing this guy in the Hall
that
of Fame.
gentleman should be in the Hall of Fame, and I will fight that to this day. But who do you got at number 10, sir?
God. My team has a disgusting limited of like a team of things still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear, sir. You're good to go.
Well, let's see here. I'm looking at the list.
You do have a horrible list of wide receivers. I've never really looked at it until now. You're gonna have to scroll back.
John Jefferson.
John Jefferson. Okay. John Jefferson. The list I'm looking at, he's a little higher. All right, you're starting off strong.
Higher on that list?
Yeah, the list I'm looking at has him at 7. But he was only a Charger for 2 years, so yeah, I get why you have him so low.
Yeah, then you started whining and crying and playing them.
Yeah.
To the Packers.
Oh God, Chris. Where do I want to go? All right, I'm going to put this gentleman here because he deserves to be on this list. But he doesn't deserve to be as high in my eyes on this list because of what he did to us. And he was a second-round draft pick out of Western Michigan in 06. He was fantastic. He was a true he was a true wide receiver one for us. He helped us win our 4th title in 2010. He scored 2 pivotal touchdowns in that championship game. He earned 2 Pro Bowl selections while being in Green Bay. But this gentleman literally left us for our arch rivals for literally $1 million more than what we were offering, and that's Greg Jennings.
Ooh, I love that man.
I do too, but literally it pissed off a lot of Packers. It literally was $1 million. Or
by the way,
like,
that was dumb.
Yeah. His career went to shit after leaving Green Bay. I don't think he ever really had another good year.
He did absolutely awful in Minnesota, I thought.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look up his stats after leaving Green Bay because
remember
he went to Miami too. After that he went off to Miami.
I remember thinking, oh man, Rick Williams, what a great pickup for the Vikings.
Yeah, he never had his last year in Green Bay. He was hurt, so he didn't have a great year. He never saw 1,000 yards. His best season after leaving Green Bay was his first year in Minnesota, where he had 800 yards, 68 catches, and 4 touchdowns.
What year was that?
He had 7 years in Green Bay, where he had 53 touchdowns, 6,500 yards, and 425 catches. For a career, he has in his career, he has 64 touchdowns, and 53 of them were with Green Bay.
Man, 64 touchdowns. That's a good amount of touchdowns.
But all right, sir. Who's number 9?
All right, let me look at this list here.
Go ahead and just take Quentin Johnson. We know you want to.
Yeah, he's not touching this one.
He should have beat the Packers.
He might drop off the list. Okay. Man, I'm gonna go ahead and take Tyrell Williams.
Tyrell Williams. I gotta go find him. Where you have Tyrell Williams.
That's the Bob Hunter Henry.
Tyrell. Oh, Tyrell. It took me a second. I had to keep saying the name because I knew the name. I was like, Tyrell. Why is that name not?
Man, he could have stayed healthy, man. He went to the Raiders and just completely fell apart.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no. He was like a 3rd round pick or something.
He was undrafted out of 2015.
Undrafted. And he made a name for himself.
Yeah.
I really thought that he was in the next Mike Williams, honestly. Well, Mike Williams, we had Mike Williams.
Oh, God, I gotta see if am I leaving somebody off that needs to be okay. Okay. Oh God, yeah, okay, I gotta go here. I love there's gonna be an honorable mention. This gentleman was so close. I'm gonna honorably mention somebody really quick because he's not gonna make the list, and I don't know if I'm gonna have time to talk to him about him before. But I gotta talk about one of my all-time favorite wide receivers of the Green Bay Packers, and that's James Jones really quickly. He's not making the list, he's an honorable mention really quick.
No, I love James Jones.
I love James Jones. He's 3rd round pick. You know, he was from us from 2007, 2015. He led the league in touchdowns 1 year for us. The dude was just amazing. I love James Jones. I hate that he's not going to make this list, but he's just on, yeah. Yeah, great Charger. Another Charger. He can make your list. But coming in at number 8 for me, this gentleman was in the 2011 draft. We drafted him in the second round. We drafted him. He was actually a quarterback in college. That should give it away really quickly for most people.
Mm-hmm.
He was a Pro Bowl selection in 2014. His nickname is the Bear Killer. That should be another dead giveaway on who this next gentleman is.
I know who it is.
And he was an amazing explosive returner, and I'm taking Randall Cobb.
Yeah, like basically like Aaron Rodgers Satan blanket.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I love Cobb. Still to this day, one of the emotional things was seeing Rodgers and Cobb that last year before we brought Cobb back on the sideline, just crying and holding each other. Still, but I loved it because when my girlfriend at the time, now wife, took me to the Packers game at Lambeau for that year, Randall Cobb had an amazing game, and it was just so cool to get to see Randall Cobb that late in his career just torch up the Rams and get to see him have one more great game before he got hurt and had to miss the rest. But he started off amazing, and it was awesome to see him just, be his old self for a hot second, and I got to see it. So I love you, Randall, and I'm excited to see. I'm glad to have you on this list.
What? I think like John Jefferson was at 7. If I can now think of a guy right now who probably should have been 10, but I'm putting him at 7 now. Oh no, 8.
Yeah, 8.
Oh, it's all right. I'm putting Eddie Royal on the list.
Eddie Royal, yeah. Eddie Royal is actually on this list I'm looking at is 12 or 13.
Yeah, well, that's dumb.
Well, Eddie Royal, again, is another short-lived career with the Chargers.
I just loved him, like, as a player, and he's also on Twitter, and he really does.
Did you guys ever keep a wide receiver long? Because, like, these lists, your wide receivers, it's like 2 years, 3 years, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Like, you never kept a wide receiver.
One time, no one's not going to make this list. David Boston.
Yeah, you guys just didn't
keep. Remember him?
No, I don't.
Dude, he was like the big shot. Like he was like really good in Arizona, and then the Chargers paid him a bunch of money, and then he put on like 50 pounds of muscle and tore his ACL.
This is where it's gonna start getting tough. Oh God, because he's Hall of Fame. He should be. He's going to be. He's not, but okay. All right, yeah. All right, I'm gonna go with this gentleman. 8 years with the Packers, drafted in another third-round pick. The Packers find second and mid for third-round picks. We kill it. We know how to draft right there. He was a reliable, explosive target for the legendary Brett Favre. He's infamous for one catch on Monday Night Football against the Minnesota Vikings.
That's my dog.
And it was the "he did what" catch. And
remember, I just sent you that.
What's that?
I just sent you that video of that game.
Yeah, you sure did.
No.
Yeah, you sure did. I remember that. And
I like him right here. That's a good spot.
Yeah. And I'm going to take good old Antonio Freeman, man. Like, the dude is just – he's going to be an all-time great. I loved Antonio. He was fantastic coming out of Virginia Tech. And I just super excited to have him on this list here for the Packers at number 7.
Remember when we were talking about the other guy who was on this list, who was more impactful?
Wait, why am I did something wrong here.
I don't know. What to do?
I have 4. Yeah, okay, just keep going.
Okay, no, yeah, that's okay. Like, I don't know what thing like was going to hit next. Man, Chargers felt that Mike Williams is climbing up this list with that. Yeah, I'm actually tempted to take Mike Williams here.
Mike Williams is at this spot on the sheet, the list I'd look at for you because I just need to make sure I can spell these
What is
guys'
this,
names.
8 or 7? 7?
This is going to be 8 for you for some. I don't know.
I
10,
thought the last one
9,
was
7, 8. Yeah, this is 7 for you. That's why I'm
Okay,
trying to figure out what is wrong with the sheet.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, give me Mike Williams. No, I'm not that big of a fan. You know what? Stay healthy.
Mike, I mean, he has been the injury. The big thing is his injuries, but I mean, Mike Williams for you has actually been a decent wide receiver out of his. He's been with you since 2017. He has 31 touchdowns to 4,806 yards, 309 receptions. He's never completed a season in his career. The closest he got was maybe in 2019 was they rested. I don't know if you guys were good in 2019. He played 15-15. He could have maybe benched him the final week of the year, but that's the closest he's ever got to finishing a season. And he's only ever broke the 2,000-yard mark twice in his career. He's only ever had one double-digit touchdown season.
Hey, that's not bad.
But all right, so we got number 6 for me, and this is going back a little bit, even before the Robert Brooks time. This gentleman comes out of Stanford. He is a first-round draft pick out of 78. He earned 5 straight Pro Bowl selections from 80 to 84. He was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2003. And this gentleman is no other less than the Raider great, James Lofton.
Yeah, that's a good one. James Lofton. I like James Lofton. Man, this is number 6 now.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm trying to do my calculation.
This is where it should start getting a lot easier because you
I know.
do have some.
I'm trying to make sure I don't miss one. Okay. I'm putting Vincent Jackson here.
Okay, there's one. Yeah, Vincent. I forgot how long he played for you guys. I remember when he left you guys to go to Tampa Bay too.
Yeah.
That was a big loss. Like, I'm shocked that you never tried to keep Vincent. Like, why you not Vincent Jackson?
It was a management thing. It was him and the GM didn't get along. And also, he had like 5 DUIs.
Yeah.
That didn't help.
Yeah, he almost has 10,000 yards. He had 57 touchdowns, but for your team, he had 4,754 yards, 37 touchdowns. Not bad.
Hall of Fame player.
He was a Hall of Very good. And he also, like, during his time, I don't think there was a better or a receiver known more for just being a deep play threat. Like, he never caught anything past before 10 yards. Every ball he caught was 15 plus. He never was getting dinked and dunked. That is why he does not have a lot of catches, because it was either 15, 20 yards or it was nothing with Vincent Jackson.
Yeah, no, I was watching the highlights and like, Vincent Jackson is down the field.
Yeah.
Like, literally, like, cutting the ball to him. Like.
No, you're right. This is where it gets hard for me because this gentleman, I don't know how to do this. The top 5 is going to be hard. I'm struggling with the top 5, Chris.
Yeah, I really snubbed one player.
Yeah. But
I accidentally snubbed the player here.
I hate doing this. I hate doing this. I hate doing this. I hate doing this. I love this man. I am sorry, but I just don't know where else to put you. It's top 10, top 5. You get here. He is the more talented brother of the one brother who is in the Hall of Fame. He was drafted in the first round in 88. He was a 5-time Pro Bowler and a 3-time first team All-Pro. He had led the NFL in receiving yards in 92 and 93, as well as receptions leader in 92, 93, 94. But his career was cut short because of a neck injury. And I'm taking Sterling Sharp.
The left nation from the two.
Yes. Sterling deserves, if you are putting all of these short-term guys into the Hall of Fame now, like Terrell Davis and Calvin Johnson and all these other guys, Sterling Sharp deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He never had a bad year in the NFL.
I think that one to the Senior Bowl.
He needs to. I think he will get in because of the Senior Bowl. But listen to this shit, Chris, for me for a second. He played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. 5 of his 7 years, he had 1,000 yards plus. His rookie year, he had 791. And then his 4th year, he had 961. So he was only 40 yards off from having 1,000 yards. He has 65 touchdowns in those 7 years. He has 8,134 yards in those 7 years. He led the league in touchdowns twice. He led the league in receptions 3 times.
Man,
65
I just remember a lot. I was just watching like the last Lions play out in Detroit before
and he was doing this, and he was putting these stats up in the late 80s and 90s before it was a massive passing league. This man is being snubbed from the
Brett
NFL.
Favre was like cutting it to him.
He didn't play that many years with Brett Favre.
Yeah, no. When the years when he did have Brett was cutting it to him.
He only had Brett for 92, 93, and 94. Yeah. For 3 years, he had Brett. 3 years with Brett. And those years are the years he led the league in touchdowns twice. And, his higher years.
Brett was like, it's like the Mark Chase. I'm going to throw it up there and look at it.
Yeah, but it's blasphemy that there's these other guys who are getting in that are nowhere near the talent or have the stats that Sterling Sharp has. It's blasphemy. Sterling Sharp should be in the NFL right now, the Hall of Fame right now. But I hate to put him at 5, but these other guys just arguably are better Packers. And I hate that. And it's not anything against Sterling. Go ahead, Chris.
Man, I really might have to smell 2 guys. Oh well. I am gonna put Wes Chandler at number 5.
Yeah, I was waiting for Wes Chandler. That was one I was waiting for. Yeah, he was 6 years for you. That was.
He came up clutch when we traded for him. I was not alive then, but I just know about
he was part of your air raid, right? He was with the air raid offense.
Yeah.
That was a good. I was waiting for you to take him. All right.
So him and go ahead.
No, go ahead. More than welcome to speak.
It was him and Winslow and Dowd and good old time.
Okay. So this gentleman, I love this gentleman. He is arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL at this current moment. That should give this away quickly. He struggled for the first couple of years. He was drafted in the 2nd round coming out of Fresno State. This gentleman was very close to beating a lot of the Packers records, but he wasn't happy with his contract situation and how the Packers were handling it. So he requested to go closer to home and play for his favorite team of all time, and the Packers did it. And that is obviously Davante Adams. This gentleman, as a Green Bay Packer, played for 8 years, had 8,121 yards and 73 touchdowns. Right now, currently in the NFL, he has 10,781 yards and 95 touchdowns. And it's safe to say Davante Adams is going to be a Hall of Fame wide receiver.
Who was I talking to? Or like comparing them to? There's another Hopkins.
Hopkins is nowhere near the Davante. I'm sorry, Davante Hopkins.
I think Hopkins has more yards.
He does. He does have more yards.
Touchdowns.
He lacks the touchdowns by a lot, but he has more yards by 1,500-ish.
Yeah, no. Davante Adams, for me, is not only did he have McMahon, he had McMahon situation.
Yeah. And
especially his rookie year. And then rookie year, like the Cowboys, and the Cowboys then.
It was his sophomore year where he fell off, and then he came back onto the scene, because he had a good rookie year. He had a good rookie year for a rookie. He had 66 targets with 38 receptions, 446 yards, and 3 touchdowns for a rookie with wide receivers I haven't named yet on the team. Still, at this point, he was way back on the depth chart. Then struggled his sophomore year. Third year, he was 3 yards away from 1,000, but 12 touchdowns. Fourth year, 885 yards, 10 touchdowns. Then at 1,300 yards, 13 touchdowns. And then he missed, and this was like a Jamar Chase year where he missed a lot of time. He only played 12 games, but had 997 reception or yards and 5 touchdowns. He was so close to multiple years of 1,000 yards by 3 yards. It's just so funny that's twice in his career he was short 3 yards. And then since then, he has just been lighting up the NFL. And I hate that he had to play with Aiden O'Connell this year. I mean, he had 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns, but I really hope the Raiders can do something to get him a quarterback so he can at least finish on a strong note out there. Unless they trade him to good old New York and he goes back to Aaron Rodgers.
Well, not surprised me.
Would not either. All right, there, sir. Who's your number 4?
Oh man,
there's the obvious 3. I'm just curious on who you're going to put 4.
And then Tony Martin.
Who?
Tony Martin.
Tony
That's
Martin.
the main reason we got to the Super Bowl.
Let me just scroll down. Tony Martin.
Look at 1994 and all his stats he had that year.
Then you're leaving somebody big off your list. I'm curious on who it's going to be.
I know.
I am curious because you are going to leave a really big name off your list. These next 3 should be kind of easy for you.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Tony Martin. Alrighty. I'm sorry, Packer fans. I'm doing it because this is my list.
I want to know who's leaving off my list.
What's that?
I want to know who I left off the list.
We'll see, and I'll tell you at the end. Because I don't know yet. I don't know who you're going to put there. This is my list. So I'm making sure my guy is where he should be. So here, coming at number 3, he's a Packer favorite. He's a Packers Packer. This gentleman was drafted out of the 2nd round in 2008. Him and Aaron Rodgers had an amazing connection. This gentleman was one of the best route running, distance at speed. He was one of the big reasons we won the Super Bowl in 2010. He was a Pro Bowler in 2014. He was the NFL comeback player in 2016. And we are taking Jordy Nelson.
He was Adam Thielen before Adam Thielen.
Yeah. Jordy was just slept on throughout his whole career because Jordy Nelson just kept was on the bounds limit, could just tippy toe and get all those crazy catches that and was never acknowledged for what he could do. But I mean, for Jordy Nelson, he has 8,587 yards and 72 touchdowns. 7,848 and 69 of those are with the Green Bay Packers, and he had the 1 year at Oakland where he had 739 yards and 3 touchdowns. So he didn't even have a bad year that final year in Oakland, but he was definitely his best time was in Green Bay.
Yeah, no, I'm interested to see who's number 2 and 1 now. Who I thought was going to be number 3 is not who I thought. Okay. Am I on? Is this number 3 for me, right? Okay.
Yeah, this is number 3 for you.
I'm taking Charlie Joyner.
Okay, there's Charlie Joyner. That was one I was waiting for.
Dude, I didn't really get to see him play, but he throws all the time. And wide receiver, no, he throws all the time.
Well, yeah, he has 12,000 receiving yards, and he's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. 3 Pro Bowl selections. I mean, I do. He 10 years. He's a long guy for the Chargers because he spent 10 years in there.
And he was also a wide receiver coach forever. Yeah, he was. Man, he was on those Indians teams. That was his last year.
Yeah.
His last good year. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So this one's easy.
How about getting mental longevity?
This one's easy. Do we call Jordy Nelson a Packers Packer? This is the Packers Packer right here. This gentleman is the underdog. This gentleman was drafted in the 7th round in 1999 out of Akron. He was on the 2010 Super Bowl team. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler. He is in the Green Bay Packers all-time leader in receptions and receiving yards. His smile is what everybody knows of him. And he's going to always be one of the greats of the Green Bay Packers. And is still to this day my favorite Packer. And I am taking Donald Driver at number 2.
I know who number 1.
What's that?
I know who number 1 is now.
I think it's obvious who one was going to always be.
I mean, I would hope so. It's not, then I'm going to be like, okay, well, his stats were stupid for his era.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, number 2, I'm taking Bambi. I'm taking, oh my God. I know his nickname, but I forgot his name. Lance
Allsworth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, when you said Bam's like Bambi, and that's all in this thing that was his nickname. I was like, oh, okay, you're taking Allsworth. Okay, I didn't know his nickname was Allsworth.
He had they gave him a nickname Bambi if he had near lightweight.
He was on the Pro Football's first team 6 times. He was in the AFL for a while. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy, because it was way back in the day. He was in the American Football League. Yeah.
And
that was number 1 on this list. He was number 1. So I now know who your number 1 is, and I know who you're leaving off.
Who am I leaving off?
The big one that was on everybody's list that I saw was Malcolm Floyd. He was in the top 10.
I was sad about that. I'm like, darn it, I should not have taken Tyler Williams an idiot.
Yeah. It was Malcolm Floyd that you left off was the big one.
And then the
other big ones that are leaving off is Anthony Miller.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
And then Keenan McCardell.
Oh,
those were the big ones that I saw that you were leaving off. Lionel James.
yeah, I don't know who that is.
Nicknamed Little Train. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, no, I can remember him. But
Yeah.
that's
But
one my time.
Yeah. So those are the big ones. Obviously, okay, everybody knows at this point, if you're a Packer fan, you should know who this is because you walk by the state when you walk by the stadium, you walk by his training facility. He changed everything in Green Bay in 35. His groundbreaking techniques, speed, and everything. He led 8 times. He was an outstanding 8 NFL championships, 2-time MVP. Don Hudson. What else can you say? Just Don Hudson.
Two-time MVP, by the way, the wide receiver is number one MVP fan. I don't think.
Yeah, like you said, what he was doing back in the day for Don Hudson. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if they have his true stats for him. For what they have, for what he was doing in the 50s, again, he had 1,000 yards. He had 1,200 yards as a receiver one time, which is probably unheard of in the 40s.
By the way, there was only 12 games.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So he had 1,200 yards, and he only started 4 of those games for this thing. He had 99 receiving touchdowns. 99 receiving touchdowns in the early 30s and 40s. So he played from 35 to 45.
Oh, what? I don't know why I got playing in the 50s.
Yeah. He led the league in receiving yards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. He led the league in receiving receptions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. He led the league in touchdowns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. He led the league.
Who was throwing him the ball?
Oh God, that is a good question.
I think you had him on the list. What is that list?
I believe I did too. No, I didn't.
Oh boy!
I'm trying to look. I'm having to pull up the team stats from the 35, and it's of course not giving me. Oh, who was my quarterback?
I think everybody knows who my number one is.
Yeah, it's kind of obvious. Sorry for I can't. It looks like the quarterback, Roger Grove. Yeah, Roger Grove.
No,
and then there was another quarterback, Herm Schneiderman.
No.
Yeah. So he did it. Yeah, it didn't look like it's not like he had the guys we were talking about. Yeah, Herm Schneiderman again. It's kind of harder for these old back time, going all the way in the back. It looks like Herb was maybe the starter the second year in 36. Yeah. So nobody was naming him. It was Herb again throwing it in 37. Yeah. So nobody, a guy who didn't make the list. I think we all know who this is.
All right. You know what? I never thought that he would take over this spot. For the longest time, I was like, no, he's the number one. Dan is number one. But now, Keenan Allen has finally taken the spot. Learned it. I mean, is there anybody more clutch on the third down situation than Keenan Allen?
No. Keenan Allen
except maybe like Brown from the Lions right now, but for the last 15 years, no.
Yeah, Keenan Allen's one of the guys that you should just never let walk. He deserves to retire a Charger.
Yeah, I'm really hoping. I mean, you know what? I talked about how we might have to let him go and pay some money, but then I'm like, oh man, he's got to retire a Charger.
Yeah, I don't know how you let him. I honestly don't know how you let him walk.
Because that's like that's favorite target.
And you need him because Mike Williams is not reliable to stay healthy. Quentin Johnston is struggling as a rookie
Josh
wide
Palmer,
receiver.
not good.
Who?
Josh Palmer.
Josh Palmer's good, but he's a good 3.
I mean, not staying healthy still, just like Mike Williams. Josh Palmer's always got something wrong with him, dude. I love Josh Palmer, by the way.
I did too. I loved him coming out, and it's weird. He never had the injury issues like he's having now.
It's the thing.
It's the Chargers first. You guys can't draft a wide receiver who can stay healthy.
Yeah. I mean, like couldn't help in this whole year.
Yeah, he had those like 2 or 3 like fluke years where he had the lacerated kidney, and then he had like knee injury. He just had, but that was when that was 10 years ago almost now. Like it has been 10 years ago.
Except for this year, like he's been available. I mean that's why you know.
Yeah. I mean,
the receptions per year is ridiculous, by the way.
It is. I mean, yeah, he's been almost averaging 100 receptions over the last. He is. I would say since 2017, he's been averaging 100 receptions. Besides last year, or 2022, where he only played 10 games. I don't know what happened in 2022. Did he get hurt in there?
I don't remember. Yeah, I think so. Was that one that last week, isn't it?
No, lacerated kidney was like in 2016, 2015.
Oh, yeah. Well, still, those are almost Hall of Fame numbers.
Yeah, I think. I mean, the only thing he has 10,530 receiving yards and 59 touchdowns. I think the touchdowns is what's going to maybe keep him out of the Hall of Fame.
Oh wow!
But
I mean, the receptions, man.
He has 904 receptions and over 10,000, and he is, as of right now, I'm trying to see how old he's. 31 right now. I mean, if he could play at least another couple years, he could. And I mean, he had 1,200 receiving yards this year. It's not like he's lost his step in 13 games.
Yeah, so imagine playing more.
Yeah. But before we keep talking, let's just go do a quick recall here. The Green Bay Packers, I had Robert Brooks 10, Greg Jennings 9, Randall Cobb 8, Antonio Freeman 7, James Lofton 6, Sterling Sharp 5, Devontae Adams 4, Jordy Nelson 3, Donald Driver 2, and Don Hudson 1. And Chris had John Jefferson coming in at 10, Tyrell Williams at 9, Eddie Royal. Yeah, Eddie Royal at 8, Mike Williams at 7, Vincent Jackson at 5, Wes Chandler at 5. I'm sorry, Vincent Jackson at 6, Wes Chandler at 5, Tony Martin 4, Charlie Joyner 3, Lance Allworth 2, and Keenan Allen 1. You got your top 5 right. You're 6, and I think you're top 6. Top 7. Your back 3. Your final 3. Your 7, 8, 9, or 9.
Yeah,
10,
I'm thinking about 9. That. I really want to get Malcolm Floyd on the list, and then it's going, and I'm like, oh no. Like put him at 6. I don't think there's going to be at 6.
Yeah. You. And the problem is, like I said, when I started looking at your guys' list, I didn't realize how short career Chargers wide receivers there were. You had like very few guys who were there more than 4 years.
Yeah, I like it. Tony Martin, like short career as a Charger. By the way, he went on to the Atlanta Falcons and played in their Super Bowl.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, you guys, like, you look at the receivers. You guys just like nitpick at teams' receivers over the years and just say, okay, we're going to bring you for 2 years. Okay, we're going to bring you for 2 years. We'll draft a guy. Okay, he really didn't do anything. Like, you guys, like, why, like, just like how you attack the wide receiver position is really weird.
I don't understand it.
Definitely for as long. It's like even over decades. You have attacked
like the one thing that Tom Telesco tried to do was attack the wide receiver position, but it's still failed.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Did he really fail? Did he really fail? No.
Yeah, and I meant to say this on the live episode. Sorry, folks, but hey, the Raiders got it right. They did. They hired Antonio Pierce. This is going to be weeks late, obviously, but it did. I wanted to say it before I forgot.
I was going to say, this is like 3 weeks later.
But it's going to be 3 weeks later. As we said, it was pre-recorded. But hey, I'm excited. I think that's a great hire. Talking about they finally got it right. And I know you're excited to see what happens with your Chargers because you got a new GM.
Who's going to GM?
I'm just saying you're no more Tom Telesco. You're getting a new GM.
I'm like, when this happened?
Yeah, no, I'm just you finally you have a new.
It'll probably happen by the time we air the episode.
Yeah, probably. It's just nice for you guys to finally
Okay, so it's Mike Vrabel or Jim Harbaugh or I'm not watching football anymore.
Is that your only two acceptable hires?
This is the only acceptable hires. Nothing else. I'm never going to watch the NFL again.
What if you somehow landed Bill Belichick?
Okay,
I just so not the Dan Quinn. You wouldn't be happy with Dan Quinn. You wouldn't be happy with Steve Shaw.
David Shaw, no, and
David
no.
Shaw, and you
no,
saw.
no.
I get super late. The Atlanta Falcons are also interviewing Jim for the second time.
I saw that. That's why I said Mike Vrabel, Bill Belichick, Jim Harbaugh, or bust.
Yeah, you guys have to go. You have to go a proven coach. You can't go back down the coordinator route.
David Shaw, who's never coached the NFL game in his life.
No, I don't know if that's
can't win at all, and if you that's got coaching.
I'm shocked though because there's a lot of GMs out there too, and you guys have a GM position, and you're there's no request for you interviewing GMs, so it really does make me feel like you guys are offering the GM position to Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah. I think I do think that that might be the deal breaker.
Yeah,
haven't interviewed. We haven't interviewed Belichick though.
No, you haven't. You haven't. You guys haven't focused on Jim. I don't think you guys want a 72-year-old head coach. Jim is still at least young enough where you can get him for 10, 12 years.
Yeah,
I think you get Bill for 5 years max.
Hey, Bill knows how to build the defense, and we get 1 year out of Bill and 1 wins. I'll be happy with that for the rest of my life.
Oh, of course. Yeah, obviously. That's why I'm just so shocked. You guys haven't touched it and I'm shocked that it's Atlanta that he's talking. It's gonna be so weird when he goes to a new team to see him coaching somebody else. That's gonna be weird. And it's just why, if you're Bill, why go coach such horrible teams that need so much things? You're never gonna win another Super Bowl. I don't think he's ever gonna win another Super Bowl unless he goes to the Chargers, who have a quarterback.
Yeah, that's why I don't mind having Belichick. If we didn't have a quarterback, so I don't have to worry about him back and one.
You just don't want him drafting wide receivers because he.
Yeah, well, it's okay. We had Keenan Allen, and we can find him for a long-term deal.
Yeah,
Mike Williams is fine for a long time. Maybe he can get Quentin Johnson to stop dropping the ball.
You can only hope. And Austin Eckler's a free agent.
Yeah. Oh,
you don't bring him back. Even though he had a good, you just don't pay an old 30-year-old.
Don't pay old running back.
Unless it's a 1-year deal. But again, thank you for listening to the Mocking With You podcast. We hope you have a great one. And by the time this one airs, I'll probably be over in Kuwait, and we'll be having live episodes from over in Kuwait. So we appreciate you listening. And the times will be changing. We we're going to figure that out. We will not be always recording on Friday at 6:30 anymore. It will be a new time here. So just wait with us and we will announce it also. All right. We love you. God bless.
Thank you for listening to the Mocking You podcast. Yours truly, Lil B at Brunelli Sports and the Hater at Supercharged 33.